Hi everybody, welcome to Kastor'sCorner.com. I'm your host Khalil, here for another Toy of the Day. Here on the, Cornercast podcast. That's another show. You can subscribe to that though on Apple Podcasts every Monday night. New podcast with guests. No, this is Toy of the Day here on Kastor'sCorner.com. You can go to our website, Kastor'sCorner.com, for a full gallery of these figures. You see a little hint of what it is over here. You can follow us. We're at Kastor's Corner on social media. Remember to hit the subscribe button down below, somewhere over here. So tonight we're talking about one of, I don't know how to say it. It's one of those very small lines that had a major impact on me growing up. I loved the Bionic Six. The line itself, I love these things. I really do love these things. By LJN was unique in the 80s as far as what it offered. It offered vehicles, it offered playsets, and it offered heroes and villains, but it was a very, very small line. It had 13 figures, which I will show all of them to you. Three vehicles, 2 hover chairs, and a playset. And I'd argue that this is one of my grail lines. This is one of the lines that I remember being excited about as a kid. I remember being let down at one point as a kid as well. And I remember the joy it brought me later. And then it was one of my pandemic purchases. Because my memory is getting shoddy, believe it or not. Shoddy might not be the right word. It might be more akin to I've got so much stuff I'm starting to lose track rather than actual memory. Because I bought all these as a kid with my mom. And then I bought them again as an adult with my own money. And then forgot which I bought as an adult with my own money because it was at a point where I was buying a ton of stuff and just kind of boxed it somewhere. So, Bionic Six Line was 13 figures. They were a mix of die-cast metal, so the bodies are metal, with plastic see-through parts that you can shine light through. And it was a really cool idea. They do not last. That's the problem. Die-cast action figures do not last. Scarab is the best example. First of all, the joints get super floppy. His arm just like spins here. The other problem is the paint just chips off. Same kind of problem you get with Silverhawks. The difference here is they chip in the package. So I've got some packaged ones here. They're a little faded and stuff. But even within the package, I've got a Helen or Mother One figure, and she's got paint chips all over her face and upper body just from rubbing in the package. So even though they're protected, they're still hard to get in really good shape. And so there was something different about this cartoon. It felt more inclusive. You had Helen and Jack, Bionic One, and Mother One. The family went on a ski trip. This was a bionic superhero. They almost died. The only way to save them was to give them bionic powers, just like Dad. And they became the Bionic Six. And the code names, no masks, no nothing. Kept their individual personalities. But we had Bionic One, Mother One, Rock One, Meg, Sport One, Eric, and then Bungie and JD, the adopted kids of the clan, IQ and Karate One. And IQ and Karate One were my favorites growing up. Bungie was easy enough to get. I carried him everywhere with me when this show was on. I remember waking up every morning before school, the year they were on in the mornings. I don't know, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. It was definitely before I went to, our school had 2 towers. 1st through 3rd was in one, and 4th through 5th was in another. So I remember playing with these guys then, I can actually tell you because I've got the package here. 1986, so I was 7 years old, so somewhere around second grade. But I took Bungie everywhere with me. I loved him. He was my favorite. And JD was also my favorite. And, you know, they really captured my imagination. And they had these wrist kind of gauntlets that when they, you know, they would punch them and then turn them. Very Power Ranger-esque, right? Power Ranger stole from everybody, apparently. They would punch them and then turn them, and they would get their costumes. Their regular clothes were nothing special, but their costumes were really cool. And I remember walking around school doing that, like walking through a door and punching and turning and like, you know, wanting to be powered up. And they had a robot gorilla named Fluffy. Fluffy and JD were the two hardest figures for us to track down. I remember getting them at a McCrory's store in Trumbull/Bridgeport, Connecticut, by the Trumbull Mall. And I remember finding a lot of toys there, but I remember specifically getting Fluffy and JD there. They were the two hardest ones to find growing up. For whatever reason, they weren't at Bradley's, they weren't at Toys R Us. So we got them there. And the villains were equally as weird. We had like Clunk, which was like a clone, kind of just like dripping, very Pizza the Hut-ish. We had a very idiot mechanic named Mechanic that always messed things up for Dr. Scarab. Glove, which I don't have his glove yet. I don't think... No, I've got Chopper. But I don't have his glove yet. I hopefully will get it at some point. There's stickers on him or something. And so him and Madamo kind of had a thing. And then I always thought of Chopper as like the Starscream, or, you know, Starscream to the Soundwave or no, I'm blanking on a name. Not Soundwave. Shockwave. You know, Megatron's number 2, and always trying to upstage him, kind of like the light version of Glove. Chopper really just, you know, always struck me as kind of like the C-list villain versus the A-list here. And so growing up, I had them. I took them everywhere with me. Even though they were metal characters, I remember taking them in the bathtub and like them sinking down to the bottom. I had the vehicles, which was great. We've got the ATV. Yes, it's got its parts. And so here's the fun part. They made one of the most inclusive toy lines in a lot of different ways. First of all, you had a multicultural family. That was number one. The vehicles, the quad runner and the dirt bike, right? They transformed as well as you know, as like the characters in the show. So they would transform as well. But now here's the cool part. And this might be a little longer than normal. I'm going to warn you. Because I love these things. This was a grail piece for me. The Mule van, I never had growing up. I had everything else. I had the 2 laser chairs, which I don't have anymore. I had the playset, which I don't have anymore. But I never had the Mule van. And I always wanted the Mule van. And we looked high and low everywhere. Toys R Us, Childhood, KB, Ames, McCrory's, Bradley's, Caldor's. We went everywhere for it. FAO Schwartz. We couldn't find the Mule van. And then Tita and I found the Mule van at the Milford Toys R Us here in Connecticut. And the box was open. And for some reason in the 80s, you know, open boxes, ripped boxes, returning broken items was not an option. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was my family. I don't know what. But it wasn't something that was done regularly. So we found one. The box was open. They told us we could buy it. But if anything was missing, we couldn't return it. And we thought to ourselves, and they checked in the back and they didn't have any more. It was just the one. And we were too afraid to buy it because if it was missing something, we'd waste money, basically. So we left it. I'm 99% sure the box tape was just ripped and it was just fine. You can tell I'm holding it here like a little baby. But I loved this thing. I wanted it so badly as a kid. I saw pictures of it. And I got one on eBay. And the stickers weren't attached to it. And the glue had worn off. And so I couldn't put the stickers on. So I tracked down another one. And I got another one in the box. But this one had all its stickers on. So it had the little control center on the side, which is just so cool. It had the back that opens up, right? That's really cool. It also has the pop-up here, which was made to hold the bike. So the bike actually fits in that little channel there, and it can pop up. And then the front end, this side panel opens up and has another area. It's such a fun playset. And then the front end opens up like this so that the quad can also fit in, and everything's included in the vehicle. I mean, so cool. So goddamn cool. Sorry. It's just one of those things, and the characters can sit up here in the front seat and drive the vehicle if I can get them to bend their legs. And sorry, I've actually never put the figures in. This is a little bit fun for me. And so they can drive the vehicle. Like, I feel like a little kid right now. This is like the greatest thing, because I bought it and I never really played with it. I just kind of opened it and kept it nice and safe. So I think if you open up the back doors and open up the ramp and then push this, yeah, that's what it is. Push this down. Oh, it turned sideways. It didn't fit in the cradle. The bike fits on the top. Like, it's one of the best things that were ever made for toys. LJN absolutely killed it with this playset. Like, this is by far the best thing I own in my entire collection. If you were going to ask me which box I was going to run out of the burning house with, it's this and my Superpowers box. 100% honest with you. Everything else can burn and I can replace it, but these two, this is pure joy. And along with that, I was able to keep the original box it came in. So I not only got it, but I got the original box with it. And it's a little stained, it's a little broke, there's some writing on it. It's got a lot of shelfware, as you can see. But it's got all the original. Holy cow. Huh. Okay. Oh, original designs for a comic book I was writing in high school. No clue was in there. It's got the original. It even has 1980s original styrofoam and packaging and everything. The whole thing. Everything is in here. And so it's just one of those things where I look at it and go, I think I spent under $100 for it at the time. And it was just one of those things where it was so worth it, and just really just recaptured my childhood. And someday I will get the playset. Someday I will get the laser chairs. The laser chairs aren't that bad. The playset's somewhere around $1,000 or more. I watched one on eBay for like 5 years and it finally sold. So someday I will get the original playset, and this collection will be complete. And I hope someday somebody resurrects this and makes figures. They don't have to be die cast, but I would love modern action figures of these things. So sorry this was a long one. As you can tell, Bionic 6 is, well, one of the best things from my childhood, one of my fondest memories. And this year during the pandemic, what I realized was I had all the vehicles, I had the main characters, but I didn't have Bungie, I didn't have JD, I didn't have a lot of the family. I had Jack and I had Helen, and I needed the rest. So I was able to track down a bunch, and not for that bad of a price. So thank you guys for watching. You can check out a full gallery of this stuff on our website, castorscorner.com. You can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. Check out the Cornercast podcast. Subscribe, rate, review that, and subscribe down below for more videos here. And join us tomorrow night for another toy of the day here on castorscorner.com. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.